And there's a few things here I want to hit on with the game. Like you talked about with the cold aspect. Yeah, it was cold, but not crazy cold. And for a quarterback being out there in pregame, it actually was like the kind of elements that you don't mind as a quarterback. A little snow falling for a quarterback makes the ball a little tackier, a little stickier.
Patrick Mahomes found that out 7 years ago.
It feels good. If it's not coming down on just a pouring rain, right? The ball in those kind of moments, you actually as a quarterback, there's a little moisture. Instead of having to lick my hand to maybe grip the ball a little bit better, that's there from some of the snowflakes. So that works. LA is, I know they're from LA, but they're tough. They're a bunch of psychos. Seeing those coaches and some of them pregame, I kind of laughed at one point. I know some of those coaches out in L.A. and everything, but they act like they're going to play the game before the game. That's what's the hilarious part to me. They don't care about the weather. They were ready to go. I saw McVay and Mike LaFleur and Mike Shula, where they have the energy of like, I want to go out there and play. So that kind of just permeates through the rest of their football team, and they were ready for action. They certainly weren't intimidated by that.
You meant Chris Shula, but that's okay.
Yeah,
there
is
a Mike
sorry,
Shula.
I said I know. Yeah, sorry. All you damn Shulas out there. But yes, Chris Shula. But off of that, yeah, they were ready to play. The elements made it look great on TV, and it was a great football game. It was a great football game, and where you go, man, there was a lot of yards and a lot of plays made for a game that was 17-10 to the very last few seconds of the football game. There, the defenses though in the second half were amazing. And that's where I want to go a little bit back to like what you said on the 2-point conversion. And do they go for two? I understand not going for two. I don't think so. I already thought in the game itself that this was a hard defensive football game. I already thought, my thoughts. I thought Ben Johnson went for it on fourth down twice already early in the football game where I went, why? Why did we go down to start the game? And we just played a game last week where we know if we kicked field goals early on in the football game and did stuff like that, the game would have been closer against Green Bay. And yet we get down here the first drive. Let's go away with something positive. And then here's another fourth one down. So I understand him now, and here's the 4th and goal late in the game where I get going for this one. You have to. There's 3 minutes left in the football game. You don't know if you're going to be down there to score a touchdown. But the ones previous to that, and a game, again, that it's cold. It's Chicago. It's got a little wind in the air. To me, it's kick the field goal moment. So I was actually surprised by that. Now, when they scored that late touchdown, I did wonder what they do because they have been aggressive. But I think that's where Ben Johnson finally reevaluated the situation. Is wait, the drive before I had a 4th down, we couldn't do anything. In the first half, we couldn't do anything on 4th down. And that's where I think he just went, I'm going to ride the momentum. Let's kick the extra point. The stadium will be going crazy. We feel like we got the mojo going. And they did, to your point. They started out overtime, and we kind of went, here they go. They're feeling good. And he released that ball, and like we both said, we thought, something good is about to happen, and then Cam Crow got the interception.
The 4th down and goal play that we showed there.
Right.
And I can't share the former head coach's name who texted me and was texting me throughout the end of the game. I can say it wasn't Bill Belichick. Wouldn't that be funny if it was? Wouldn't that be funny if
it wasn't Bill Belichick and it wasn't Mike Zimmer? I know that.
Well,
okay? Neither one of them are texting you.
We're not going to eliminate any others, but that play, and I got to paraphrase this, but we hear so much talk about being creative and how creative Ben Johnson is. That play's been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
That was like a basic play that they've been running for years.
Like, that would go back to Norv Turner and his coaching tree, 525 F angle. Jason Garrett will tell you about that. It is a famous play, and yeah, it's a go-to play for a lot of people.
And this coach specifically is a huge fan of Ben Johnson, but said one of the things he's got to learn, the farther you get into the playoffs, the more judicious you have to be on 4th down. You have to take the points.
So there you go.
I'm always leery of getting into a game where you settle for too many field goals because before you know it, like you build a lead that way. We're up 6, we're up 9, we're up 12, we're kicking field goals. Yeah, but all it takes is boom, one touchdown, and there it goes. And those field goals that weren't touchdowns are going to come back to bite you in the ass. But those zeros, when you could have had a field goal or two, can make a huge difference in the back and forth of a game. And I wonder if he'd known how the game was going to play out. Maybe you do take the 3, because we hear all the time, well, what kind of a game has it been when I'm going to decide whether to go for it? Is it a high-scoring game? Is it a low-scoring game? Is it all offense? Is it a defensive struggle? I mean, this was more of a low-scoring defensive struggle.
Right.
So maybe if you'd known that's how it was going to be, you would have taken the 3 early on.
Right. I agreed there. You know, and honestly, early on in the football game, I would have just gone with that approach anyways. We're a young football team. Let's get some mojo going. Let's just put some points in the bank here. You don't know where the game's going to go. I think we've seen too many coaches all year make these decisions where they expect the game to go one way, and I'm like, you're not the Wizard of Oz here. You can't tell the future sometimes, and that's what I don't understand, and especially early on in the football game. I told you at one point early on in the football game, I go, man, I guess he's got no faith in his defense tonight. He just thinks Matt Stafford and company are going to go up and down the field. But as we saw, even after the first interception down there on the 4th down where Caleb throws it over the middle, the Rams drove down and scored a touchdown off of that. That creates momentum for them. Oh, they get a stop. They go out. The defense, the Bears in that situation, is just sitting on the bench because they're going, we're going to get this. This is Caleb. Oh, wait, now we got to go out there.
True.
So it's a different mindset than, oh, we kicked the field goal. The fans are, oh, yeah. And now, okay, now the defense gets off the bench. And they're, all right, we got 3-0. All right, let's buckle up. Here we go. We get to talk a little bit. And I think that gets lost in translation with some of these coaches at times. But after that, you could see that it was going to be a tough night, or tough night, moving the football up and down the football field.
You're trying to figure out a way to say tough sledding.
I was going to try to say something like that. But yeah.
And I could tell, I've known you for so long,
Right.
I can tell when the gears in your brain are telling you, is that really the right phrase? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. This time I won't say it.
Yeah, you're right. So that's exactly what was going on in my brain. But yeah, I just don't believe in that approach. Now, I do think he made the right decision not going for 2 late in the football game. I know it came back to bite him in the butt. But as we had seen already, some of these short yardage situations and the play you talked about before that had been there for a long time, the Rams had won those situations during the football game. So I think kicking that extra point to make it 17-17 was fine.
One more name for elimination. The former coach texting me was not Dirk Cutter
Right.
either, as Pete points out. That's a different story that you may have heard at some point. Maybe we hear it at some point again. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.